Novel Chronicles is a tabletop web series combining acting and storytelling with the rules of a role-playing game. There are 4 players, 1 game master, and there is no script. If you hear any dice rolls, typically a low number is bad and a high number is good. Now on to the episode.
Welcome to Novel Chronicles, Episode 1. I'm the Game Master, Timothy Reese. We are excited to have you here. And by we, I would like to introduce our cast of adventurers. We have Bill Crowe.
Hello.
Danielle Beckmann.
Hi.
Mark David Christenson.
Hi.
And Victoria Rani.
Hey there.
Since this is our very first episode, before we get into the story in the world of Bentir, I want to give an opportunity for the cast to share who their characters are. And we're going to begin with you, Bill.
Hello. So, Hecate is a nomad. He's used to a life on the road, hard times, but things are starting to look up. He's a diviner, a sellsword, and most importantly, a very adept arcanist. He's got this deep red hair, very almost ratty leathers, a little bit of armor mixed in there, and a brilliant sword at his hip, as well as a torch that he uses most often to cast his spells.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
For you, Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm going to be playing Greta. Greta, no last name. No, don't worry about that. I'm not looking for love, so don't even try, okay? Obviously you can tell I'm a squick. I'm 2'1". I mean, it's not hard to see. I'm semi-rodent-like, I guess you'd say, for you people who don't know what squick look like. And I'm really glad to be traveling with my bodyguards. That's what I call my friends. They're a lot bigger than me. And I'm not in any trouble with the law, so stop asking. Okay? Next.
MDC.
Well,
Hi, I'm Mark David Christenson, and I'll be playing the character Iwin for Hire. He's a Farron. He's 3'2". He's 170 years old, and he's been around. He's lived almost everywhere you could think of and knows a lot. But he recently left Charles because he has some weird dreams that are pushing him and giving him a drive to find about his past, an element of his past that he wants to discover more about. He sounds a little like this. I'm Iwin, and I'll tell you, I won't tell you everything, but I'll tell you enough. All right? So I'm here. I decided to leave the safety of Charles in order to find out what those dreams I'm having are, which is, I dream about a daughter I've never met before. Will I find her? I hope so. That's why I joined these mercenaries.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And Victoria?
So you see a tall, very muscular, short, brown, furred humanoid with asymmetric, medium-length to shaved hair. And it's a bit greasy and sea salted, and they have a smile on their face and a glint in their brassy eyes. And you see hoop septum piercing and scruffy double-lobed ears with many more piercings. And on their neck, they wear a chunky kind of beaded choker. And on one of her pinkies, you see a dark brown braided leather ring with a snake-like red inlay that gives off a bit of a glow of a magical vibe. And in her hands, they absent-mindedly rub their fingers on a long glaive with a strong handle, with a vicious-looking blade on one side and a crudely strapped bone boomerang on the other. And you can call me Ashvin, pronouns are they, she. I've only recently begun to travel since leaving a post in Bires, and it's quite exciting. If I'm curious, I will ask. And you sense I was a bit of a naive homeschool kid, but I undoubtedly love being around new people and new experiences. And yet I have a short attention span. I don't want to wait any longer than necessary in one place. And I'm caring, I'm surprisingly charismatic for what I look like, and I hug as hard as I can. So I'm currently single, down, ready for anything, and that's me.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And with that, we have introduced the adventurers. There's going to be many more NPCs you're going to meet along the way, including the purveyor of this party, but we'll get to him later.
Oh boy.
So, episode 1. It is late summer in the month of luck, and it is swelteringly hot this time of year. The party of adventurers have formed a fledgling mercenary company, so far unnamed, sticking to small jobs and protection gigs in the coastal communities of the Amber Sea. 1 month ago, they were hired by a diminutive, shrill individual known as Lord Rupert Sumo. Rupert represents a powerful family in the north, embroiled in a civil war, and he is seeking an artifact known as the Face of Harthak. Rupert's patrons became aware of an individual simply known as Latch, who intended to sell the artifact to their enemies, and so Rupert was sent to negotiate the purchase for his side instead. He hired the party, and after a long search, a lead surfaced in the small hill village of Farson Heights. So the party escorted Rupert to investigate. Negotiations nearly instantly disintegrated, and the apparent holder of the Face of Harthak murdered his father, the town chief, and through no small feat of magic, escaped from the town and set sail in his own vessel, the red-sailed Severe. The party aboard their chartered vessel, the Pummelbub, has given chase through a narrow shoal to make a chance attempt at cutting off the Severe before its superior speed escapes their grasp. By best account now, it must be 2 a.m, and the sky is gorgeous overhead. Thousands, millions of stars burn in the sky in a full spectrum of hues. The vast overlapping nebulas spill out like watercolors on black canvas, and the glow is bright enough to read without a candle. It's easy to forget the dangers ahead as only the waves, the slight groan of creaking ship, and the soft footfalls of the ship patrol meanders from rail to rail to look for possible danger on the banks. You survived a rough encounter earlier in the evening as you punted your way through wooden teeth. Some creature native to this shoal, scaled and with teeth like kitchen knives, attempted to make a meal of the crew and sink your vessel with their caustic saliva. Those creatures are now either dead or escaped to some shadowy corner to sulk. The carcass of the 2 who died are still on deck and provide a curiosity for those daring to get close. Captain Jordica, the pale-eyed, pale-haired Asterian skipper, still stands at the till. She's lashed it to a fixed position to keep it wandering. Even at night, it's possible to spot her matching blue plaid shirt and trousers, and the brass caps on her horns give the faintest twinkle now, as if she's been polishing them while in thought. Her first mate, Smugsy, the dark-haired human wearing matching blue plaid, with a slightly all-too-elastic face, has begun distributing hot honey cakes out of the small pan he's warmed below deck in the makeshift galley. The crew are tired. You are tired. The Pummelbub is not a ship of pursuit nor of war. It's a garbage scow. But Jordica knew the dead chieftain murdered just yesterday, and she wants to see his son brought to some semblance of justice. The 4 of you have had a reprieve after the intense fight. You're currently nestled near the prow at the front of the ship, sitting on the deck planks where they converge at the tip so that a quiet conversation is possible without risking anything more than a whisper. And as Smugsy makes his way over, kind of intruding on your conversation ever so slightly, just a few minutes now until we've come full round the wooden teeth.
Okay, that's good.
Wonderful.
Get your breath while it's easy.
Thank you, Schmugsy.
And he slips 4 honey cakes amongst you for making his way.
Oh, thank you.
Takes a bite of it.
Thank you.
This is good. Not bad.
Very good,
Yeah.
Schmugsy.
He gives you a nod over his shoulder. But now, as it's 2 o'clock in the morning, the 4 of you at the front, by the way, you still have not seen Rupert since you
Right.
boarded the ship. But as you're currently now at the front, you can see just in the distance, it's very bright overhead as it is every night in Bentir. But looking ahead, as there's no cloud cover whatsoever, you can see that by best accounts, both with the direction that the waves below in the water seem to be shifting, you're nearing what would be the outlet into the greater Amber Sea from this shoal that you've been sort of punting around. And you figure it must not be more than an hour or two before you're finally out into the water and likely will be catching full sight of the Severe. But as the four of you are together...
Hey, any of you gonna take a nap?
I might. He's gonna finish cleaning this up.
Hecate's currently polishing his sword, kind of taking the debris off of it from the fight a few moments ago.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna collect some of this acid.
And I pull out
That'd be a good idea.
a bunch of bottles from my Fathom satchel, and I have thick gloves, and go to get some of the nasty acid blood from the dead creatures.
Yeah, let's make a nature check.
Okay. Ooh.
First roll of the game.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
Nature 20.
20. The smell is overwhelming, but reaching into you're gonna do it for as many as you can, basically. How many vials do you have?
Yeah, like 3 little ones.
Three
but
little ones.
my sense of smell is through the roof, so it's
Right.
gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll put on one of my masks I have.
Okay. So as you reaching into the mouth of the creature while being careful not to disturb any of the sort of dripping residue saliva, you manage to squeeze a couple of glands into the bottles. And as it is, you get 3. You fill up all 3 small bottles.
What do they look like? Are they glowing?
It doesn't glow. It's a putrid green, almost like a, it's almost like a, I mean, it looks like snot.
Okay.
But essentially, it's potion glass that you're putting it inside of,
Right.
which is capable of standing up to anything,
Okay.
really.
I'll sort of waddle back to the party.
Look, guys, this could come in handy someday.
As you begin to cork them, you're a little nervous about the corks holding for long term. So as it is, you might want to take care of that later.
Yeah. I can also do a little magical tinkering to give it a good seal. So I'm gonna work on that.
All right. So as you're working on sealing them to prevent any sudden leakage,
I want to thank all of you. In that last fight, I did not hold up so well. I almost got myself bit into 2. But because of you, I'm still here, so thank you.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, we gotta get you better armor.
It's pretty good.
How are your legs holding up?
They're a little shaky from all of it.
You're pretty deep inside of
Yes,
that.
yes. I lost feeling a little bit there, but we're coming back.
That's not good.
I'm
That's not
so
a good
glad you were
sign.
there. That's the scariest fight we've ever been in.
I think so, actually.
Oh, God.
Considering this is only the second fight that we've ever been in together.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna retch over the side.
It's all downhill from here. Oh, boy.
I don't want to alarm you, but maybe you should puke on the ship. That stuff might be attracting some unwanted attention.
Yeah, but we're going faster now, so we're gonna
It'll
wait
be
for
behind us. Yeah.
All right, all right.
Oof.
Ashvin is with their hand kind of wiping off the blood from one of the wounds that she sustained and just kind of wiping it on the deck.
Your own version of scrubbing the deck. Adding your own paint.
It's giving it character, you know?
Yeah, it's from the bite that you took the day before, not the day before, several hours ago, it essentially looks as if you were bitten by a shark. Like it's enough of an outline that it's a horseshoe-shaped bite. There was no tearing. You're not dealing with anything necessarily involving a lot of stitches, but it was deeply unpleasant.
So not deep teeth, kind of shallow.
You managed to essentially like flex yourself into the jaw so that it didn't just rip off half of your body. But yeah, they're not the most pleasant of creatures.
That's gonna be a fun scar.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah.
got any ointment.
Oh, that's fine.
Eh.
I don't got nothing to say. I'm just saying thank you for taking that. If it wasn't for you taking that big giant bite, I would not be here
Yeah.
right now. I'm just saying what.
You're welcome.
You should do what I do when danger comes. You just run away.
I can't live that way now.
Oh.
I gotta go right in, head first.
Hey, speaking
Hey,
of,
What?
did Rupert even get on the ship?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Where is he?
Where is he, right?
He didn't even help us fight. Is he under?
Has anyone seen him?
He's below deck, maybe.
I'm
we
not
go
gonna
check?
look for him.
Let's go.
Rupert! He's
At
gonna yell
that Smugsy turns around. Shh.
Sorry.
Keep your voice down.
Sorry.
Alright, sorry, Moxie.
Do we have to go find him?
I think so. All right. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
I
let's
finished
go.
my
Yes,
last bottle.
All right. If I could have everybody make a perception check.
Yeah. First roll.
I need my new perception.
It should be accurate now. I fixed it last night.
16.
16?
10.
10?
15.
15?
14.
14? Well, you all passed. That's fine. As the lot of you begin to make your way first below deck, kind of searching from stem to stern all the way through the various small compartments between bulkheads, you see a couple crew members who are sleeping, no sign of Rupert. You do find his large barrel, which is stowed on deck, and you are aware of below in the burned out galley where you had made your bunks previously, in the sort of ratty hammocks that are hanging up nearest the ladder that leads up to the cockpit. But looking through, you can see the barrel's there. He's not in the barrel, as he would normally be. And as you've made your way essentially all the way to the aft compartment,
What else is in the barrel?
looking in the barrel is not a lot.
Okay.
You can see that there appear to be several hard-boiled eggs, which is you have not had eggs on this entire journey. So at any point at which Rupert acquired the eggs, it has not been with you. And by that I mean that no one on the ship has been eating eggs,
Rupert's been holding out on
and you did not at any point buy eggs anywhere, but Rupert has. It's a half dozen hard-boiled eggs sitting in a small oilcloth pouch that seems like it's tucked right on top, right in the middle. And you can see that also in the very bottom of the barrel appears to be an absolutely disgusting-looking, deep green, algae-stained piece of cloth. At one point, you figure that it had some kind of ceremonial importance to someone. It looks like there's quite a bit of intricate beadwork and stitching and embroidery that's knitted along through it. It's large. It looks like it would be quite a large, long bolt of fabric. But as it's sort of lined in the bottom, it looks a little bit like a nest. So if Rupert were to, if you were to picture the small diminutive figure sleeping inside the barrel, it would be along the bottom in kind of a ball. But otherwise, there's nothing else inside of it.
I'm gonna look close to the ground and do some sniffing
Okay.
to see if I can track that scent.
Make an
because it's a
investigation check.
It's a very distinct scent.
Yeah.
We know his smell.
It's vinegar.
Oh, God.
Oh, 17.
17.
Bad.
As you apply your nose to the ground, giving a good... This sudden burst of vinegar smell kind of kicks in as you realize that there is the noticeable trace of Rupert's track heading up the ladder to the cockpit.
Guys,
It's recent.
I think he's like inside the cockpit. What if he's like steering the ship? He's not that strong, right? Let's go this way.
Yeah,
Follow
we
me.
gotta go see this.
Heading up the ladder up to the cockpit. The cockpit, by the way, is on the... So structure of the ship is you have the deck, which goes all the way to the front. And it essentially is it's a very simple structure for this ship. It's a deck that goes to the front, to the prow. And then at the top is what's called the aft castle, which is essentially, it's a raised platform at the back, which makes up the cabin where the captain sleeps. And Smugsy as well. They sleep in the same kind of berth. And on top of that is where Jordica has been steering the ship. And that's where this heads to. The cockpit is really just a flat platform.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
enclosed.
Okay.
But as you make your way up the ladder, carefully making sure not to be too much of a disturbance, as you can see that Captain Jordica is leaning kind of casually against the till as she's looking out at the horizon. Your nose leads you around her towards the toilet cabinet hanging off the back of the ship.
Oh, it's in the cabinet. That's where I wanted to
Right.
hide, remember?
Yeah.
I was gonna hide in there, but seems like he might be doing his business.
You can see that there's quite a bit of damage that was done to the cabinet in the middle of the fight as one of the creatures actually climbed up the back of it. And as it did, it dug its claws directly into the woodwork. There are scratch marks all down the side that look like it was slightly raked as the creature sort of lost its footing before leaping towards Jordica at the beginning, of the beginning of the battle. But looking, you can see that the sort of door leading into the toilet is hanging slightly off its hinge, just ever so slowly moving in the breeze.
I just knock on that door and yell, Rupert!
At that, Jordica turns around. Shh!
Sorry. Rupert.
I see. She turns back to the till.
No one's in here.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Are you taking a drop? Or are you hiding?
Well,
At this, you see the door crack ever so slightly, and Rupert appears, and a small head pokes out.
hello.
Hello, Rupert.
So, I started, well, it was one then the other.
One what?
What?
Hiding, and then a drop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I get it.
Got it.
Are they gone?
Yeah,
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, they're dead or ran away.
Okay.
You're really good at hiding. When we all travel as a group, how's we gonna find you?
You don't need to,
Why?
because, well, privacy is important.
Yeah, I get it. I get you, man. All right, so, hey. Yeah, go. What you gonna say?
I have nothing to say.
Huh?
I was just asking. I just want to make sure Rupert's all right.
Yeah.
And Rupert, I have a question for you.
See, I knew you got a question.
It just popped in my head.
Okay.
At this, he begins to slowly close.
And I
the
grab
door.
No, I have a question.
Okay.
Why don't you tell us about your eggs?
I was about to ask
What
the same
eggs?
thing.
Who found eggs?
We looked in your barrel and we saw the...
Privacy is important.
We've been looking for you, my friend.
We were worried. We just got attacked by these things. We were.
Okay, so listen. I was inside the hall and negotiating for the face of Harthak.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there were eggs.
Oh.
And
I see.
I had a hand free.
Oh.
So, eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grab the eggs in the middle of our fight?
No.
Make an insight check.
Do we need a
roll a
insight
d20
check for that one? We need one.
And then what was it? Sorry, with the...
Insight.
21.
Oh.
Wait, I'm 20.
He did.
Rupert,
But there were rewards. Who would like eggs for breakfast?
I'm hungry, I would.
I mean, I would not say no.
Yeah,
but I
so
say no to
listen,
your eggs.
we're gonna be to this big scary ship in about
Right.
an hour or so. We're gonna need your help.
How?
Are you gonna fight? Are you gonna just
Oh,
hide?
no. I don't fight. No.
Okay, well then stay undercover and find us when we dock. Or hey, we might all be dead, so I don't know. Figure it out.
Do you want your payment now?
Yes.
That would help.
Yes.
While that exchange was happening, Ashvin went to go find Smugsy to get another honey cake for Rupert.
Okay.
Yeah, and has returned with it.
All right. As he begins to reach into the pouch, sort of doling out your wages, kind of to close out the transaction.
Gimme.
As you hand him the honey cake, you can see that as he looks down at it, there's this moment where he looks up and looks down at the honey cake, and there's this almost. His eyes are always a little dewy, so it's hard to tell if there's a small tear forming. But they're maybe a little more dewy than normal.
Oh. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love honey cakes.
Me too.
Where are they? I can get you more.
I mean, you just have to go ask Smugsy.
Oh, it's an ask thing. Oh,
Yes.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm ready.
As he begins doling out, he doles out to each of you 25 gold, which would have been the wages for this last week.
The spirits. This is not bad at all.
As he begins handing it out, you find, Ashvin, there's an extra gold piece in yours.
Oh man, being nice
lucky
means something.
you.
I'm screwed.
How much again?
25 gold.
Foop.
Foop.
Oh, can we take a short rest? We took a short rest.
The
just
assumption
now,
would be
right?
that you can take a short rest now. Yeah. There's not been a long rest yet
Yeah.
because it's not been uninterrupted.
Cue all of us adding
I don't
25
know.
gold immediately to our money.
I was like, gimme.
We're a little poor right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll hit my barrel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna go sleep in your barrel?
No, I can't sleep now.
Oh,
What if this is the last sleep? What if I sleep
okay.
and die, and then I don't get to wake?
Okay, you go sleep. We'll find you.
No, I'm not sleeping.
Okay.
You're not listening.
You go. I'm flustered too, man. Okay.
I'm flustered too.
You can see he's like sort of in your face slightly.
Hecate's just like taking a few steps back.
Ashvin has taken 2 large hands into these 2 small creatures. It's just rubbing their backs
Oh,
gently.
that's quite nice, actually.
Oh. Okay. That's
All right.
nice.
And he begins
Bye.
scurrying between you to head downstairs to grab his barrel.
Better me
Well,
you
now
than I am.
we know where he is gonna be. Oh, can you scratch my back a little bit more?
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Should we talk to Jordica?
Yeah, might be a good idea.
There's not much to say to
hi.
me. I've heard the whole exchange. As Jordica turns around, she's only been 5 feet away from you the whole time.
Right.
It's always nice to see some semblance of friendship in the middle of adventure. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a few moments, Smugsy will be doling out the grappling hooks or boat hooks for you to use.
Right?
Grip? How do you use a grappling hook?
You said you were experienced in combat.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw it.
Yeah. You just throw it.
Greta, just be honest. We can teach you how to use it if you don't
Okay.
know.
I'll make sure Smugsy doles out a tutorial as well.
Thank you.
Heads back to the wheel.
Oh, gosh, she's onto me. She's onto
She's
us.
Onto us?
Yeah, though I'm not experienced.
You can see from your position now Rupert suddenly appearing from the forward hatch, now with the barrel on his back as he clambers up and begins setting out sort of a makeshift. He removes the large green fabric and lays it out in the front like a picnic as he begins moving his possessions, of which is the blanket as well as the small bundle of eggs, into the middle. As he looks back at the group of you and waves.
All right.
Is it time?
I guess so.
Have some breakfast.
Yeah.
As the group of you have a small meal at the front of the boat now, sort of topping off honey cakes with hard-boiled eggs.
Breakfast of champions.
As it's still, the sun has not risen yet. You can see that Smugsy is now emerged from the aft cabin with a pair of grappling hooks, which look like they're bright enough to look like they've been cleaned and sort of maintained in the last several hours, as well as a pair of boat hooks, which will be doled out for the 4 of you, given that the rest of the crew will be keeping the ship afloat in the upcoming engagement. Is there anything you'd like to do before we begin preparing for that?
Tutorial.
I think during the picnic, Ashvin might, in very simple terms from what she understands, catch Rupert up on what the plan was for us to attach to the boat.
Right.
Yeah.
One moment.
I also still have my potion of aquatic adaptation. Should I want to dive in?
Ooh, yeah.
This was true.
But as now Rupert is caught up and Smugsy makes his way over, as well as Captain Jordica, and you can see the 2 of them now. There's another crew member who's now on the till as the ship is beginning to near the outlet into the actual main embassy. So Smugsy is going to be leading the lot of you through, well, we won't call them drills, but in reality, the life of a corsair is not one of peacefulness nor timidity. As we approach the Severe, we'll be able to see them on the deck. The goal is to entangle ourselves with the Severe. We're going to have one shot at this. It is a faster vessel, and we have our scrap metal in the hold. So we are not moving at nearly the clip. If we miss the Severe, we will not catch up.
No
We
pressure.
entangle the rigging, and then we stop latch.
Have you done this before?
Many times.
Oh, we got this, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with experienced corsairs in a vessel built for it, that's not hauling scrap metal garbage,
Oh.
working with 4 individuals who are giving me varying levels of confidence on their faces at the
I think
moment.
we caught it.
We're going to be
I've done
just
this
fine.
Yeah, we're gonna be great.
We'll be all right. Yeah.
I'm not going to ask for deception checks there. Just assume that was
I've never done it
aspirational
with the
speaking.
weight.
With this
We'll be
Smugsy
fine.
comes over. All right, let's find out what you lot know about throwing grappling hooks. Who's ever thrown one?
I've thrown other things.
We've done it before.
Yeah,
We've got a volunteer
he
here.
throws a lot of stuff.
Sometimes.
You two are going to be on grappling hooks. That means you two are on boat hooks.
I throw this, and she holds up the boomerang attached, and but there's just no rope attached. It's the same thing, right?
Well, I only have 2 grappling hooks, so who wants them?
You might want to throw one.
All right, you get one, and you get one.
Okay.
You two are on boat hooks.
All right.
So your job is whenever the punters start to come over, you whack them before they make their way to the deck.
All right.
Of course.
Also, if anyone goes overboard, you pull them back in.
Sounds
Sound
good.
fine?
I'm safe to go overboard.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of which, when you're throwing grappling hooks, make sure it's tied off to the railing. Don't hold on too hard.
Okay.
Gets in the rigging. If it pulls you in between the ships, you'll be chewed up between the two on the hulls, like bacon fat and teeth.
Okay.
Let's not let that happen.
It's a one-way trip.
What?
Don't fall in.
Yeah.
Can I?
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
And begins to walk away.
Should we pre-tie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is the other end tied? Did he show us?
So
Or-
so essentially, there's a deck railing that
Yeah.
goes along both sides, and you can think of it in easiest ways. It's like a fence.
Okay.
And as the grapple hook is tied off to the railing, and then is hurled into the rigging of the other ship to attempt to entangle it.
Okay.
The boat hooks the two of you are using, essentially you can treat them like spears. They're very long, about 12 to 15 feet long. And the goal of these is to either stop other boarders from coming onto your ship or to pull people out of the water.
Right.
All right.
The assumption being that you're not going to be the only one throwing grapple hooks.
All right.
Of course.
Or as Smugsy calls them, grapply hooks.
Grappling hooks. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Grappling hook.
I like that. I think that's what I'm going to call them. Grappling hooks. I like it.
Oh, that's not what they're called.
They're grappling hooks.
Grappling.
Grapply. More fun to say.
Okay, I'm gonna start tying.
As you begin tying it off on the railings,
And I know knots, just not from being on ships, but I make my own knot.
right? So as the two of you begin tying off, at essentially making sure that the line itself is about 40 feet long. It's quite a bit of rope that's attached to it. But even so, you're realizing as you begin to tie it off, you're going to be very close to these ships in order to make this land. This is going to be a very, very close battle.
How long is the rest of the rope then?
40 feet.
40.
Yeah,
Okay.
40 feet.
Okay.
And as you begin tying off the ends, and the two of you are essentially making a sort of observation, an examination of the two boat hooks that you've been given.
How much time do we have until we get there?
Jordica begins to summon everyone to the aft castle, the whole crew.
Right.
All right, everyone, as we approach the outlet, I figure that we'll be in the sights of the Severe in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So, on the auspices of this occasion, I would ask that, and she begins to motion other parts of the crew to essentially take up positions at the prow, up in the crow's nest. My crew will handle all manners of fire control in the event that we take on fire. If we take on fire, it is a disaster. We will catch quickly and we will burn. In which case, in an emergency, make your way to the lifeboats. My crew will take the one at port. This mercenary company and Lord Rupert Sumo will take the one at starboard. And looking back, you can see there are two small dinghies that are attached to both sides. They're right at the back end of the aft castle. And with that, I really just wish all of you the best of luck.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thank you.
I've always wanted to say that.
Well, now you have.
First time for everything.
She hears everything you say.
Love you, hooves.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully Latch will enjoy my horns. And as she reaches up, she pulls off both the brass caps. And looking at them now, they're not sharpened into what you would call points. They're sharpened almost into blades, in the sense that they're not sharpened like they've been ground. They've been sharpened as if they're like a spear tip on either side. These two large horns that wrap around either side of her head. And now you can see why you would definitely cap them. It is not a casual ornament. as this large 7-foot tall Asterion is now in almost full like war regalia face. So let's hope it gets to close quarters then.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Wow.
Right.
To stations! She motions a lot of you.
On my way to my station, are you know those creatures? What are they called again that we killed?
They weren't given a name.
Oh, great.
They were
I
called
don't know the
acid
name.
The
dogs.
acid puppies.
Can I
puppies.
grab, like, cut quickly off, like, a couple of their, like, a line of their scales?
Oh, sure, make an animal handling check. Yeah.
Just roll a 20?
Yeah, roll d20 and add your animal handling modifier.
Well, animal handling.
It'll be at the top.
14.
14? Yeah, laying in with what knives do you have, by the way? I believe you have like a boot knife.
I don't know. Where's that in my inventory? Sorry,
Yeah, but
guys.
just laying in with the knife at
Yeah.
your disposal. You managed to cut a strip. It's about 3 inches tall and about 8 inches wide.
Cool.
As you kind of flay it from the edge of the creature.
All right.
It's sticky.
Ugh.
Yeah, it has an almost has an oil attached to it that feels. It's got like a tack to it, almost like glue, holding it in your hand.
As Hecate gets over to the stations where he will be, he pulls out this small, like, leather-wrapped pouch from his side and begins to pull out a few of these cards. Looking closer, they are these very intricately drawn, what appear to be spirit cards, each of them depicting different themes such as death and life, and he begins to meditate on them for a bit, kind of. And then a few moments later, kind of nods and puts them back in. You see, he looks a lot more confident than he previously was.
Ashvin asks, "What was that?"
Oh, my spirit deck. It's just something my parents gave me when I was very young.
I've seen you with those by the fire camp some nights.
Yeah, I usually do it late, sometimes when you guys are asleep, but that's how I've learned my magic.
So impressive, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I try.
Ooh, I'm getting nervous again.
Oh, me too.
Keeping it down.
You'll be all right. You'll be
Okay.
okay. You'll be okay.
Ashvin, can you rub my back again? Thank you.
After she rubs her back, she wants to walk over to one of the monsters and kind of kick out a bit and try to gauge how heavy is it.
Like, just trying to giving it a few, like checking the tires of
yeah.
it of the creature. Probably weighs 200 pounds.
Okay. Do
quite-
I think I could lift it?
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Hey, are you thinking meat shield? That's what I'm thinking.
We'll see.
Okay.
15. 19.
Yeah, it's an awkward lift, but you definitely get some arms around it, avoiding the mouth, obviously.
Okay.
As you're holding up this creature, and as you do, you get some curious looks from the rest of the crew as you're now essentially holding what is essentially the size of a large hog in front of you. What would you like to do with it?
I want to put it over by where my grappling station is. I just want to set it there, just in case I need it.
Okay, as you sort of shimmy over with this large bundle and drop it on the deck, you can see that Rupert, now looking over, begins to gather up the small oilcloth pouch before shoving the strange green cloth into the barrel before sealing it.
I smile at him and I say, "Cannonball."
He gives a bit of a wave before heading to the back of the ship. You hear a sudden call out from Jordica at the back of the ship. All to stations, no stealth now. As you begin to emerge from the inlet, it is still dark, but bright enough that you can see off your port bow, almost as if the ticking of a clock has lined up with the Severe coming around Wooden Teeth, the red-sailed view of the Severe. As it begins to pull directly into your eddy, you can see small lanterns springing to life and a murmur of voices on the deck as they begin to point at your vessel now emerging. And as the two ships are essentially now on a direct collision course, as Jordica has timed the exit from Wooden Teeth to a literal collision of the two vessels, She has to turn the wheel now abruptly to keep from accidentally ramming into the side of the Severe, such that as both vessels are now sort of canting in the water coming around, you can see from your position on the rocking deck as spray is beginning to pick up as the other currents from the Amber Sea are now kicking up onto the sides of the vessel, sort of raking up the sides, washing over the deck planking below you, that it appears that on the Severe, you cannot make out Latch at the moment, who does not appear to be above deck. But you can see several individuals, all of a sort of medium height, running back and forth, and what appear to be bows in their hands as they're arranging themselves along the deck. And a shout of voices of, there, no, as they begin to point at your vessel. As the two ships are beginning to sort of come around in this broad stroke against one another, the reaction of Jordica having to essentially spin the till as hard as she can to avoid ramming the sides of the Severe has caused the vessels to essentially skate, so that now the Pummelbub, your vessel, is in front of the Severe by a good 100 yards, as the faster Severe is now gaining on you from behind. It will be approaching you on your port. As this is happening, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Natural 20, baby.
There we go.
24. Hecate's ready to go.
Which one? Yeah, that one.
I got a 21.
Nice.
I'm worse.
19, 20.
10.
There's a silence coming from V.
6.
Yeah,
There we go.
All right.
We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. You gonna tell us what you rolled? No.
You know what? Yeah, it'll be the third in combat order. Will be the Severe.
Thank you. Wow. What a treat, everyone.
At this moment, the ship is still roughly 150 feet out from you, as it's
Okay.
approaching very quickly. But as it is, you can see that almost instantly there's a shout of fire as from the other boat, as you can hear the twanging of bowstrings and the slight whistle of arrows approaching your ship.
Yeah.
Most of them fall far short, fired too early, as the ship is now reacting to your presence, being entirely unprepared for this encounter. But one of them manages to lodge itself directly into the deck planking, roughly near the mast. And looking at it, you realize that were that to hit someone, it would be very uncomfortable.
Can I grab it real quick and see what it's made of?
Yeah, pulling it out, it looks to be some sort of bodkin arrow. It's designed normally for piercing chainmail. It's a long, wicked point.
Ooh.
It's not the sort that you would use for hunting. It's not a casual arrow. And looking at it, make an insight check.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Oh, at 14.
14. Looking at the arrow, best guess, this would be carried by some sort of military experience individual, possibly a trained soldier. It's not a casual arrow.
So it's a metal tip.
It's a metal tip.
Okay. Can I use that in my short bow?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Give it right back to him. Return to sender.
And with that,
yeah.
we're going to go to the table.
Oh, woo! That's the Severe.
This is the Severe.
Cool.
So pretty.
So, by the way, what's the order where you all want to be standing?
Ashvin and I were near each other, starboard side?
It would be port side if you're throwing grapple hooks.
Port side.
All right. And then how do you want to be standing? Do you want to be at the front? Do you want to be near the aft castle? Where do you want to be?
I'll be near the aft castle.
Okay, so we'll have Hecate up near the aft castle.
Right on.
You'll be up there with Jordica.
First in, last
And then you want to be at the front in the middle?
Front.
Okay, so I'll be at the front. And likewise, we'll have Smugsy, who's going to be coordinating fire control. And we're going to have Jordica here.
Jordica.
Likewise, on the vessel, the Severe. By the way, for reference, because I don't really have a good Asterian mini, Asterians are unique to Bentir, this would be Jordica's approximate size on the vessel.
Large.
So, not a small folk.
Large and in charge.
Right. But, in fact, you know what, just for the purpose of this.
Yeah,
Leave it.
Yeah.
We love it.
So we'll have, you can make out 5 individuals,
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
all archers on the deck. And it looks like if there are crew, they're hard to distinguish. If this is the crew and currently they're just trying to defend the ship, it's hard to make out. But currently, you do not see Latch on board. So the ships are moving at such a speed, the Severe is much faster than you, that it will be next to you in one more round. What would you like to do?
I mean, I've got my hook ready to go because we have to entangle first. So we have to do that first before.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time do we have? 10 seconds?
Is this a turn or is this a surprise
This is a turn.
round?
No.
Got it.
Okay,
We have a round before
so-
it
It's
gets to
the
us.
fact, normally this would be a surprise round if this was not on two ships, but the fact that there's enough time here that surprise is not really a.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're starting the initiative round, I want to shoot at them, but. I don't
Right,
know.
they're at 150, what I mean now is they're at 150 feet right now.
150 feet.
Firebolt only
So
goes
it's probably more
120.
accurate to do that.
What's the order?
The order is going to start off with Hecate.
All right. Why don't we start this off with a bang?
And I should point out, 150 feet from this corner to this corner. So it's not 150 feet from there to there. It's 150 feet here.
Quick question on the short boat says range 80 and then 320. 320 is the furthest it can go, right?
Furthest it can go. Everything after 80 is
80's
disadvantage.
Okay, great.
Between
great.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So gauging with my intelligence, would I be able to tell?
Which we'll do a check for.
God, I hope so. How quickly the Severe is moving and how quickly it's going to get up to us in like maybe a few seconds. But
The very next round, the Severe is going to cross to the point where the prow is next to the stern.
so where I am,
Yeah.
cool.
I probably got those terms wrong. The front is next to the back. I think I just confused some
Good.
things there. Yeah.
I know boat terminology.
We're not sailors.
I used to be. So as I've got the spear,
boat hook.
the boat
Yeah.
hook, yeah, in one hand, and has not drawn his sword yet. But as a bonus action, he's going to kind of get his footing and begin to like kind of move around as kind of green mist, and he's going to start to spirit dance.
Okay.
And begin to kind of mutter this incantation with one hand as you see this lightning crackling around him as I'm going to hold a lightning bolt for when the Severe gets closer to us.
Which will be the next round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as it's kind of approaching, I want to let that go.
All right. So as you're holding your lightning bolt for the beginning of the next round, it'll tick over right at the top of the order.
Yeah.
That brings us now to Greta.
I set down my hook and I take out my short bow, put in their arrow, and I fire it back.
Make an attack roll.
With disadvantage.
Yep.
Oh, that one was cocked. Hold on. Oh man, it took, well, can't get lower than that.
9!
as you with this scream as the arrow is returned. Is there anything you want to say?
No. honestly, she just goes, hiya! Like that.
As the arrow
Because now
is,
she can make noise.
As the arrow is released from this small squick creature with a large short bow, you watch as the arrow flies out and then lands right in the surf
Oh, I
in
killed
between
a
the two
fish.
ships as it disappears into the depths of the
Okay.
Amber Sea.
And yeah, as that happens, then I make sure to, I want to have as a quote unquote bonus action, I'm going to uncork and have right at the ready my experimental elixir. And then just pick up my hook and ready that for when they get closer.
As we're ending with you, you can see Smugsy running back and forth distributing buckets. All right, you lot, watch out for fires! As he's directing the crews to watch out for fire arrows or whatever magical implement could be coming. You can see that Jordica she's looking at the four of you. And prepare your hooks. We get one shot!
Okay.
As this comes to the Severe.
All right.
Sis!
Once more, you can hear this fire into the...
Are we under like half cover because the ship around us?
No.
Well, am I? Because I'm like,
I need everybody to make
saying.
dexterity saves.
Oh boy.
The angle is such that you know where the arrows are coming from. Everybody make a dexterity save.
Oh, that's cocked.
Holy crap.
21.
4.
15.
Jordica's not getting hit. It's a natural 20.
Yeah, let's go Jordica.
15?
21.
21?
4.
7.
7. As 5 arrows begin to land, just like sort of dotting across the deck, you watch as Jordica actually dodges one coming in towards her as it stabs directly into the till post. However, 2 arrows find their mark with Ashvin and Iwin. As you just find this, poof, as this arrow, the angle of it's oblique. It's not the sort where it's coming in directly and it was clearly fired up to come down, but it sort of skates down your backs as it finds connection to sort of just the top layer of skin. It manages to catch you right in the top neck plate, Iwin.
This is like a graze.
It's like a graze, but it's a graze enough that it feels like you got whipped as it sort of just strikes down. Another one of the bodkin tips, not full in. Each of you takes 5 points of piercing damage.
Oof. Hey. Oh, it was a hard one.
Iwin, what would you like to do?
I can't take another hit like the last 2 fights, so I need to get me some spirit guardians and use my amulet.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're casting spirit guardians, I love that spell.
Greta was going to say something like,
From my mother, but she had a fight with her, so she didn't say it.
Greta.
this is what she's replaying in her mind
Oh, we love her so much.
when she fired the bow.
All right. So as that's now holding up around you, you watch as this almost explosion of spectral figures emerges out of Iwin. And as they do, how would you like them to be described?
Oh, I think they're like, they're very grotesque. Like they look like they're winged, like variations in winged insects.
Okay.
They each have like 6 wings that are, and like their middle is like almost like a larvae. It's like larvae with like wings, and their mouth, and they have like mouths that are just like really tight, but like sharp. Okay. They're very grotesque.
Pestilence.
As Spirit Guardians explodes out from you, you watch as these terrifying insect creatures emerge out of Iwin, who seems completely unfazed by the spell being cast. Clearly not a novel experience. However, as they emerge, you can see as these 6-winged insects, like instantly whenever they appear, chittering as if they're screaming at one another, like cicadas emerging from their pods. However, the moment that they sort of fix in position, they go silent as they're now just surrounding him. As they're forming this protective barrier between anyone who would dare to enter the space.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is that all you'd like to do on this turn?
Oh, what else can I do?
Well, that was your action. If you have a bonus action you'd like to do.
Where do I?
Do you have Healing Word?
Healing Word is
Yeah.
he cast a leveled spell.
Everyone got their hit points, right? Back from the...
Yes.
Everyone rolled hit die from... I just want to make sure everyone's health is up.
I took a short rest.
Yeah, from the short rest.
Sure. Yeah, I want to.
Okay, cool. All right, never mind. You're good.
Cool.
Yes, I got my 2 health back.
And that brings us to Ashvin.
Ashvin seeing all these pretty larvae, winged larvae, says, "You've been holding out on us, man. You get that." And gives Iwin inspiration.
Yes.
Amazing.
So you have a D6 that you can add to
All right.
when you need it
When
for the
I
next
need it?
10 minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm not holding out. I just thought I'd handle myself without them before.
And then as an action, she's gonna cast Unseen Servant, and at one of those kind of portholes, the one between Iwin and I,
Okay.
and instruct them to, if someone tries to board the ship, kick them in the face,
Okay. With that, I'm gonna go
which
ahead.
has 20 pounds of power.
I'm gonna put this. By the way, is this sphere that's surrounding you is 15 feet, right? Spirit Guardians is 15 feet.
it can go up to
So
15.
it's currently surrounding
It was surrounded
all of
some.
you.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh.
you're in it as well
Okay.
as you, Greta. You're currently protected by this. You're unaffected by it.
Sweet.
Oh, I like that mini.
like them.
Very nice mini.
So as this figure looking like it's a flat plane of glass, like sort of forms in the middle of the air between the portholes. You look as the figure is there and then gone. You're aware of the figure's presence. No one else can see it.
Okay.
But as it's currently holding guard over that to interact with whatever it needs to. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
That's it. That was my action and bonus action.
All right, so with that, we come back to the top of the round. And as this happens, the Severe begins to close the gap. As it's now to the point where you can see the figures on the deck clearly, and they can see you.
As
As you're holding lightning.
this, like, cacophonous boom followed by this this blue and kind of multicolored, multifaceted lightning bolt blasts out across the ship in a 100-foot line as he's gonna have it so that it can hit 2 or 3 of those archers.
Okay, so as the bolt is exploding through the middle of the ship, they all gotta make a bunch of deck saves, so 1 second. 3 saved, 2 failed.
Got it. Okay, 5, 8. 27 points of lightning damage.
Halved for those who aren't.
Halved for those who aren't.
Wow. As this bolt of lightning goes streaking across the deck, you hear the crackling and boiling of water as any buckets or any liquid on the surface is just instantaneously evaporated from the impact, as well as the screaming of these archers currently in their positions. As this sort of like this surge races across the entire ship to the point where it actually blows the windows out of the cabin that's currently underneath the cockpit. It doesn't outright kill any of them, but the first 3 here
Didn't like it.
do not look like they're having a great day.
Okay.
They're looking very worse for the wear already as they begin to make their way through. And as it strikes into the cabin, you see strangely a reaction from the cabin, as if there is a pressure change that actually blows air back out. As if something has now interacted within the cabin. Not quite sure what it was, but it was
Weird.
momentary. As we now go to Greta.
Am I 60 feet from everyone on the deck?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll have my boat hook ready.
Yeah. Holding my hook, thinking about what I'm gonna do.
Oh! I pull out this magical vial from my pouch that has this slick grease in it, and I cast grease over the entire deck of the other ship.
Okay.
So when the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a deck saving throw or fall prone.
These guys are having a bad day.
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
gotta beat a 14.
Fail. Yes. Oh, that's cocked. Fail.
Yes.
Save.
Okay.
14.
Yeah.
Save. Save.
Okay, so 2 of them.
So these first 2 is
Fall
this grease
prone.
slick, like sort of flies out the side of the ship, and it almost looks like an oil streak, hitting the water / hitting the ship, landing on the deck, landing on the rigging. These 2 immediately go prone, just wah, as they just hit the deck. As you can now see, there's this multicolored spectral sort of coating on the entire surface of it. These 2 go prone. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Hold my hook.
All right, readying the hook.
Yeah.
That brings us now to the archers.
Oh boy.
With this, as these figures are attempting to right themselves, right? 3 of them are going to fire directly at you, Hecate.
Yeah, makes sense.
Are they still fallen?
No, they got
Well,
themselves.
they got back up.
They got back up, but then when they end the turn, they have to make the deck saves again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This now counts as difficult terrain. So the first one's absolutely a miss. Second one's, what's your AC right now?
It's a 16, but does it hit?
No,
My shield.
Sorry, say that again.
It's a 16, but does it hit?
No.
Okay, good. Because if it hits, then I will shield.
The third one is a 20 to hit. It's a
I will
netty.
shield.
It's a natural 20.
Oh,
the natural 20.
No,
No,
natural.
net. Sorry, we
Natural.
say a netty versus a natty.
Yeah.
Natural.
A natural,
like
a natural 20.
Yeah, so I will shield that.
Okay, shield that.
That was
Right.
from old school Brooklyn Quarter days.
And then the 2 on the very back are going to attempt to open fire, 1 at Jordica. And that is absolutely a hit.
Oh boy. Oh, is that a natty 20?
Netty.
Yeah, natty
That
versus natty.
is
I'm always used to calling it a dirty 20.
As this arrow from the very back launched from the one near the till of their ship hits directly between the shoulders on Jordica. As this arrow just sort of sinks itself, he goes, oh! As she snaps the arrow off against her back and turning around pulls up what looks to be a large wooden, like almost billy club that she used at the side of the railing to rest, to set ropes against for the rigging, and hurls it as a kind of reaction to the arrow sinking in. Oh my God, it hits. As she hurls this club towards the very back of the ship. You just hear this, one for you, as she slings it. That's gonna be, oh my God, 6 points of damage. Oh. Weird. All right, so as this individual now takes this, you hear this, oh, as it takes the hit, and then slipping on the grease, hits down.
Ashvin, totally into that.
She turns back to the till to attempt to steer it away from the severe, which is now getting very close to the actual stern. As well as the last archer, which is going to take a shot at Smugsy.
Not Smugsy.
And that's a miss, barely, as it hits against the mast itself. As Smugsy ducks and then nervously grabs a bucket to run back towards the front of the ship. As this is happening, you can now see another figure emerging from the cabin in the doorway.
And immediately slips. That would be great.
You can now see another figure emerging directly from the doorway. It looks to be a human man. You've seen him before.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And a long cloak, which looks like it's dark green but trimmed in a kind of fine gold. It's a very expensive looking cloak. It's this individual with dark hair that looks slightly tousled, and a mustache that kind of runs across the face up towards the ears.
Ooh.
As this individual emerges, you can see them looking at your ship and reaching into his pocket before slipping on the grease and going directly down to the decking. This sort of, it just hits the ground.
Great job there, Greta.
You can't hear what curses he is saying, but you are aware they are there. Is this individual?
Oh, that's a mini right there.
Deck. And with that, the rest of them are going to make deck save, fail. Yeah. As these two hit the deck as well.
So funny.
Incredible.
That brings us to Iwin.
Remind me, these spears, is the spears that we have help us to attach to them, or is it just to keep people back?
It's so the way the spear is shaped is that it's a spear blade. I should have explained this. It's a spear blade to the point where it's similar to a glaive, to be honest, but it's not nearly designed for as much hacking as a glaive is. It's a long pole. It's about 15 feet long. It's got a spear blade that bifurcates at the end to be a dull hook. And so one side of it can be used to grab things, and one side of it, if it's scabbard, normally when it's used as a boat hook, they scabbard the portion that's a spear so you don't accidentally stab someone who's overboard. That's been removed so that it's a spear with a hook, a bill that kind of extends off the side.
So you're trying to attach to their boat.
You're trying to essentially either draw in their rigging, or as their boarders may attempt to cross, whacking them with the spear to kind of cut them down midway through to drop them in between the ships, which is very much a one-way trip. Or you're using it to pull people from overboard. But you got to be careful if it's currently in that kind of configuration.
Pole arm? Is that
It's a
what
pole arm,
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I am not
So it's like a
proficient.
dull hooked axe.
And it's not close enough for that,
Currently, no.
for me to go for that front. So I'm like, what do I
You're probably within range if you've got a couple range spells. But as it is, unless you're attempting to do something like that, no.
Oof, what do I do?
Do you have a bow or a...
I have darts. That's pretty much what I have. Better mace.
What's the range?
Let's see.
20 and 60.
60?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you could definitely hit. You'll be throwing at disadvantage, but you could definitely hit either of the first two if it lands.
That's all I can think to do right now.
All right, so make an attack roll with disadvantage. So roll twice, take the lower number.
Okay.
So what's the
The hit is plus 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll twice, take the lower number.
7.
7. As you turning around over your shoulder, now seeing a lightning bolt rake the deck, as well as grease flying out from Greta. As you throw the dart, it catches a breeze, it just blink, lands into the deep, sort of about 20 feet to the right of the severe as it's approaching.
At least it wasn't my favorite one.
I can make you another one.
As you can hear from Rupert, who's currently inside the barrel on the top of the deck.
What does my keen I almost said ear sight. Does my keen ear sight interpret what he just said?
No.
What?
What is hearing? If
I don't
not
know what he
ear
said.
sight?
What is hearing if not ear sight?
Yes.
Okay. I also just real quick. I know it's not my turn, but I do want to say my goggles are on at this point. Yeah.
All right.
Protecting the eyes.
So that brings us to Ashvin.
Ashvin, seeing that it's still not grapple hook time, is going to lift up that the acid puppy and put it on the edge of the boat as if to push it over as a readied action.
All right, so as you kind of
as soon as they're
perk
next
it
to
up into
us.
position, sitting on the railing as it's dangling like some kind of strange puppet off the edge of the rails, limbs with its like mouth open, a tongue hanging agape as you've got it on the edge.
So they've got one arm on that, just kind of balancing, and the other arm with the grappling hook, just ready.
And with that, we go to the next round. As the severe now pulls up.
Oh boy, here we go.
As the severe now pulls up astride, it's actually almost past a little bit like this. It's currently here. The next round, it will be out of range. Which now brings us to the top. Hecate.
Hecate will probably try and get a little closer to it because they're kind of going past him.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's moving quick.
Moving quick. I have the...
You can hear Jordica shout, "Now! Now! Grab the riggings!"
Is there anything I can do with my boat hook to try and grab it?
You could, one thing you could attempt to do is you could, at this point, everyone's below, like, everyone that you can make contact with is like down low.
Yeah.
You could attempt to swing and cut at their riggings with the end of the boat hook. It's a long shot, but that would be the most direct thing you could do with the boat hook. As it is right now, no one's tried to board.
Okay, so I will hold my action to attack with it, or like kind of shove somebody back if they try and board.
Gotcha. All right, so holding that, that brings us to Greta.
Question.
Yes.
Because I had a readied action and they're now next to us, can I push the puppy over?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need you to make an athletics check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Push the
Puppy, calling it a puppy.
13.
13. It's a hard push as you go to shove it over the railing. As you do, you watch as you push it over. There's this moment of like discouragement as you think you've undone it.
Yeah.
Right? And as you've pushed, you watch as it kind of dangles in the space for a moment before landing over, and until you realize that its front paw is actually caught on the railing, and the whole thing flips. And as it does, you hear this, "Oh!" as someone is pinned underneath. As this archer is currently underneath the creature, which, well, for the purposes of this, we'll say that this is now pinning him. As the large lizard dog is now holding him down as it's landed on
The
him.
large dead lizard dog.
The large dead lizard dog. As it's currently landing, you hear this, "It burns!" As he's currently having a little bit of that saliva drip landing on him. That brings us to Greta.
I lasso it up and I throw it to catch the side.
All right. Make a dexterity attack.
Please work. Oh gosh. Okay.
It's not bad.
Wait, it's a dex
Yeah, dex attack.
attack?
Are we adding proficiency?
To the number first.
11.
11? Yeah, throw in your proficiency.
What's my proficiency?
+3.
Oh, you really?
Actually, no, she's not proficient. She's never thrown one before, right?
Yeah.
11.
As you send the grapple hook into the rigging, you
Okay.
watch as it sails slightly past and clatters on the deck. But as you're currently wheeling it in, it has not found purchase.
Okay, okay, so, right.
Boy.
Okay, I have a bonus action.
Okay.
What can I do for that? Okay, just because I'm freaking out, I'm gonna down my experimental elixir.
All right, as you do, you feel this like shiver that passes
I get
through
10
you.
minutes of this.
As you currently now are aquatically adapted. As it
Okay.
is, as it kind of like begins to choke you for a moment, you realize that small gills have formed at the side of your neck. It's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
As you realize you're now breathing kind of a dual chamber thing right now.
What's going on with the rope?
Pulling in the line, it's currently not finding purchase as you're attempting to reel it back in to try to grab something.
Do I have like a movement, right?
You do.
Am I able to like jump across?
You can make a jump across, but at the moment,
She decided to go big or go home.
at the moment, if you jump across,
Yeah.
the boat is not tethered,
Oh, I know.
I lose you.
so you will land on the deck.
And I know it's greasy though too.
You know it's greased, and you currently don't have a hard connection to get back.
Okay. I have other things. I'm gonna wait.
Okay, bringing it to.
Well, you're next to me. What
Is
do you-
her hook still on the deck? It's not that it missed it.
It didn't miss the ship. It
Okay.
landed in the middle of the deck, and
Okay,
it's
okay.
currently skating across, but has not found purchase.
Okay. I'm just gonna see that. I drank my thing and now I'm like freaking out.
Okay.
Boy.
Which brings us to the crew of the Severe.
Oh, great.
Hey. Head
This lot are gonna stand up
Oh.
because they're having a bad day.
When do they take their decks?
This one's not. They
When-
take it at
when
the end.
did-
They take it at the end of their turn.
Okay, great.
This one's going to attempt to push and fails. He's currently trying to deadlift this giant corpse off of his body,
Deadlift.
Deadlift. Oh my god.
But
as well as Latch.
Oh boy.
whoa.
Not
Yeah.
happy.
What's Latch doing?
The mini is fire dancing between his hands, but as the archers are now directly parallel, firing into you now from their position.
Oh,
So
boy.
the 5 archers, that's a miss against Jordica. Against Hecate, that is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, it is. I can't
We'll come back to the
shit
damage.
that.
Against Greta, that is an 18 to hit.
Hits.
Just by one. Man.
Against Ashvin, that's a 19 to hit.
Hits.
And that's a 15 against Iwin.
Doesn't hit.
Right. So as these arrows go flying across the deck.
Finally, some good luck.
Against you, that is 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh god.
That's 4 points of piercing
Nice.
damage. And that is 5 points of piercing damage. As the arrows now zinging across, you watch as whatever Latch is doing, it appears that there is a bracelet that he's wearing that is currently, as he pulls his sleeve down, looking at the 4 of you on the deck. You can see that as he pulls his sleeve down, there's a bracer that runs from his wrist all the way to his elbow. And as he reveals it, you can see that it looks like it's made of multiple overlapping metal plates of varying different metals. And as his hand comes down and he proceeds to sort of rest one hand against it while making eye contact, you find that this cloud begins to form around him on the deck, which is a similar spell that you've seen before back whenever you encountered him first in the Chieftain's Hall. You're now seeing the mechanism through which it's emanating, but it appears to be some sort of bracer. And as it does, this large, thick cloud begins to form across the deck of the ship. It spreads out almost instantly, and as it does, it actually rolls over partly onto your ship because you're so close. Right now, they're in partial obscurity. You can't see them directly. And you're also as well, Greta, Hecate, and Ashvin, you're also affected in the partial obscurity. You're all from the same cloud.
Okay.
As currently, you can just see the glint of metal as these individuals where they are. And you hear this voice calling out, "I'm going to enjoy this."
Uh-oh.
As we head to, actually
They all have to slip.
hold on.
I'm going to enjoy it. Oh!
This one goes down.
Oh
It
my
falls.
God.
I love this.
Oh, Greta plays the long game.
As well as you, whoa, as he hits the deck again.
Enjoy that.
Wow.
I yell that.
This
I
one
do.
hits the deck. Unbelievable.
Oh, he takes him down with him. Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
That guy's
This one hits the deck.
covered in grease and underneath a
Unbelievable.
giant dead creature.
So
And this,
funny.
wow, they all failed.
Wow!
Amazing.
Yes!
All right. And that brings us
stuff.
to Iwin.
I mean, I want to try to use my spear to get hold of their ship.
All right, you're gonna try to hook into the rigging.
Yeah.
All right, make a ranged
And I'm going to use the inspiration on this.
essentially make a melee attack with the pole arm.
All right. So.
Is mine still not finding purchase?
Use it.
His luck just went really bad.
Nice.
All right. So 7.
7. As you
Do I need to add anything? I didn't know.
Minus
Or what?
that
8.
and then 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry.
Okay. As you reach out with the boat hook to attempt to catch into the rigging, it sort of reaches wide. Seems a little further than you had intended. And as you attempt to reach in, it doesn't quite make purchase.
Ugh.
What's going on with my hook on
That's
the
what I
boat?
was-
It currently
Did
is
any
not
of
a-
them
it's
fall onto it?
No, it's not attached to anything as you're
Okay.
attempting to reel it. Then that brings us to Ashvin.
Seeing before the cloud came in that Greta was still pulling, Ashvin's gonna use her bonus action to redirect the unseen servant
Okay.
to go help her pull.
To go help her pull on the. Okay.
Yes.
So as Greta, as you're attempting to desperately find some kind of purchase with the grappling hook, the unseen servant, you suddenly feel a secondary tug, which is strong enough to actually lift you off your feet slightly. As it begins yanking with you. You're not quite sure what's happening as you can't see anything around you, but there is another set of hands currently pulling methodically with you.
I'm magic. I'm magical.
I would like you to just roll a d20.
Oh no, I don't know what that means. 10.
10.
Does that just do something?
As you're yanking on with the extra set of hands, as you pull one last time, the grappling hook heads right over your head and lands directly behind you.
Okay.
This thing's gonna fly.
Which brings us to you, Ashvin.
Ashvin's gonna go for it with the other with
Make a ranged
their
attack.
grappling hook.
Did my spirit guys
So
do anything?
ranged
Just
attack.
hanging around?
It's whenever something enters your space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A ranged attack, I don't add anything.
You don't add anything. No.
Okay. It's just a deep.
Let's go.
It's a dex, basically a dexterity. It's a
Let's
dexterity
go.
attack,
If we don't
but
get
you're not proficient in the grappling hooks because none of you have thrown them.
I'm not
before.
proficient in grappling hooks, but I do have Tavern Brawler. Does that get me anything?
If you were to be throwing a grappling hook in a bar,
I'm drinking. I'm drinking.
Greta's drinking.
She's always drinking.
Yeah, it's a melee. Yeah, it's not a ranged attack. It's melee. 8.
8. As you hurl the grappling hook, you watch as it skitters off the side of the decking before flipping towards the front and landing into the water on the other side. And as this happens,
I could go jump in and get it.
the Severe pulls ahead.
Okay.
I
We got to kill everyone on board so that the boat just stops.
don't think that's how it works.
Is that how it works?
I don't think that's how a boat
As the
works.
turn-
Fire.
As the turn comes back around, the boat hooks have missed, as well as the grappling hooks.
Oh my.
This brings us to you, Hecate.
So even this close, we couldn't get one over?
Even this close, you're not going to hit rigging.
You mean we couldn't grapple?
Yeah, because it's really like, I mean, there's a chance, because there's not, the sail is here, as well
Okay.
as your sail is here. So there is a mizzen mast back here, but it's a long shot. I mean, you can do whatever you would like, but the actual prime opportunity was when they were next to each
We're
other.
really letting Jodica down.
Hecate is gonna hop off the aft castle there and rush to the front of the boat, and I think he's gonna try and either break the mast or ignite the sail
Okay.
with a lightning bolt,
Yeah.
doing as much structural damage to the boat as possible.
Yeah.
Just try and slow it down so that we can get ahead.
Do you have spells left?
I have 1 third level spell left.
Oh my god.
I have a 3rd level, a 2nd level, and I believe 2 first levels.
I
3
can't
first
believe
levels.
how did I blow so many spells?
I get some back on a short rest.
So you're going to be aiming at the sail.
I'm gonna be either Do I look like I could hit more of the ship if I aim towards the back of it? Or what would probably be the most damage I could theoretically do with a 100-foot-long lightning
Well,
bolt?
the thing about the lightning bolt is that it's 100 feet long, it's 5 feet wide, but it's also 5 feet high.
Yes.
So you're essentially choosing whether to hit the deck or the sail. Because
The sail would probably be the one.
because they're going to be separate from each
Yeah,
other.
I'll try and hit the sail as hard as I can.
All right. Well, I mean, it's not exactly going to make a deck save. So if you could just roll your damage.
Okay, big money. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. As he just like reaches over and just sends another one going. Ooh, that's pretty good. 10. That's gonna be 3, 4, 5.
How many hit points does a piece of fabric have?
We'll find out.
It's a big piece of fabric.
29.
29. Wow.
Yeah.
As you reach out with the lightning bolt in this sort of proximity, with your hands kind of brought together, you watch as an arc actually forms between your torch, such that the bolt arcing between the two extends from the middle. And as it does, this bolt of lightning streaking out goes directly through the sail, sort of burning a charred hole in the middle. As it passes through, there's this brief pause between the disappearance of the lightning bolt and a wondering if you had succeeded, before you see the middle of the sail
there we go.
ignite as the red sails of the Severe begin to light up the deck below in the cloud that it's currently in. It's currently on fire, as this brings us to Greta.
Okay, well, I have no spells left, but I have some dope stuff. So, okay, I'm going to cast a cantrip.
Okay.
Okay. Greta, being very disappointed at how she just failed, is going to hurl a mote of fire at the. She's gonna kind of aiming for the person at the very back, but more so for the structure of the ship.
Well, okay,
catch
so
fire.
I will say that the person's lightly obscured.
Yeah, so the she wants the ship to catch fire.
All right, so he's going to be launching firebolt at the ship.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
It was
It
almost a one.
rolled off a natural one. Wait, you said they were lightly obscured, right?
But I'm doing the
Oh, just the ship.
the ship. Yeah.
You
So
can clearly see the ship.
19.
19?
Yes.
Roll some damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
2d10?
It was
2d10.
legitimately almost a one.
It rolled right off the one.
18 points of damage plus.
gosh.
Hold on, and yeah, 18 points of damage.
18 points of
You
damage.
add to that, right?
No, not for. It's just 2d10.
Okay.
Ooh, I accidentally rolled my dice.
As you launch the firebolt off the edge, sort of out of your palms, as it shoots out across the water, you watch as it hits the back deck of the back sort of paneling of the ship. And as it does, it instantaneously ignites the top railing. It appears that it possibly detonated some kind of lantern full of lamp oil, because the fire spreads quick enough that it hits the railing and begins to sort of drape across the top. As it's sort of, you can see little bits of fire almost streaking down into the water, sizzling as they hit the surf below. So the back railing is currently alight.
Okay.
You do add.
What?
You do.
I actually do 21
points of damage. All right.
to the boat.
It's a little more fire.
A little more fun.
Oh, a little more sparks
Yeah.
up. Okay, and as a bonus action, I don't know. I still have my hook.
It's too far for them. I mean, you could. It's a bonus action. It's not. You're not
I don't
gonna
know.
be
As a
able to
bonus action, can I just try to just throw the
As you,
hook
as you
toward
just,
the boat?
it's not an attack roll, but as you huck the grappling hook, it just hits the water.
I reel it back in.
Hopefully I get my door.
That's all I got right now. I'm not gonna, just jump in the water and chase after that ship. There's no.
So no archers fire this time, as you see the Severe beginning to pull away slightly. But instead, you see the figure of Latch, shakily hand on the railing, as he moves to the back of the boat, now alight from the firebolt that has lit the back railing. And sort of wreathed in flames slightly, emerging from the smoke, you see at first the cloak and you expect to see the head, but instead you see a strange object that he appears to be wearing. By best description, it looks like a sort of upside down triangle made of some kind of dull gray metal. It's glinting in the firelight. Only the top edge, the one opposite the point that's pointing down, it's large. It's about the size of a dinner plate. The top edge is actually broken in two segments, kind of indenting along the top, almost like a furrowed brow. And you can see where would be the eyes of Latch appear to be two slits chiseled into the metal, both of them glowing with this almost ivory smoke. Ooh. And you simply hear him say, "I said I was going to enjoy this." Then suddenly pouring out of the mask that you see, like that sort of dry ice fog pouring out of a bucket into the water, appears to be this mixture of, you think it's a liquid, it's not quite smoke, you're not quite sure what it is. It almost appears to be some kind of physical light.
I wouldn't know what it is.
No, okay. Begins to boil along the surf behind the ship. And as it does, the rest of the crew sort of rushing behind you at now this large glowing pool that's forming at the back of the Severe. You can see also forming in the air above it impossibly complex geometric shapes. At first, circles, squares, triangles, objects you've seen before. Then they begin to shift into complex arrangements that are at first interesting and then more complex than you can possibly wrap your head around. You're seeing objects in space that are going beyond even your perception of reality. Most notable among you is Jordica. She's staring out with her pale white eyes at these shapes appearing above this pooling morass at the back of the Severe, and you just hear her say, "Beautiful." Before there's this sudden release of pressure that as it hits the front of your ship, like a window or a mine blowing out from deep underground, you find that it blows all of you backwards onto your backs. There's not even an ability to hold back against it. As it's so sudden, you suddenly don't hear anything. There's a fear that hits you at first that you've possibly lost your hearing before you realize there's just no sound coming from around you. And as you shakily pull yourself up to the railing, now looking out at this growing morass and pool and Latch, kind of vanishing a bit as the Severe's pulling ahead, suddenly emerging from this pool is a huge spectral figure. 80 feet high, 4 arms extending, looking like wrought out of pure ivory white raw energy as the surf begins to boil around the creature. It makes no sound, though its face is very near in shape to the mask that was being worn by Latch on the back of the ship. And this creature, as you look at it, that feels like it's pure rage, malice. There's this sense coming off of it, as again, there's no sound emanating from it whatsoever. Begins to turn towards you. It brings down one fist and essentially bats an entire portion of the decking from the rigging to the deck to the bulkheads below, all the way to the keel line, and just rips a portion of your boat completely off.
Oh, that's bad. That's
as the
bad.
ship suddenly collides with it, it grabs the front of the prow as the lot of you begin rolling back and reaching with one hand, smashes below the waterline, as now that you can feel the ship buckle as it breaks. With this, as everyone's scrambling, and you can see one individual holding a rope, holding down, sort of fast lining down to emerge from the crow's nest. The poor crew member who was up there, who begins to hit the deck down below. Jordica turns to the lot of you, and for the first sound you've heard since the explosion, she just says, To the boats! As you begin racing to the back of the ship.
Yeah.
As this is happening, kind of bounding over one another, you can hear another snap as the mast goes crooked.
Ooh.
And as it does, begin leaning towards the back of the ship. Smugsy, along with the crew, jump into their lifeboat, as well as you, the lot of you, I'm assuming you're racing towards the lifeboats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can see Rupert leading the pack, running with the barrel on his back. As you begin jumping in the lifeboat, you can see that Jordica is still on the ship, holding the mast upright with her back, as it's now leaning perilously towards the boats. And the last sight you see, as the ship begins to turn upwards, is her rolling forward over the railing and over the till as both your boats hit the water, quickly slashing the lines to suddenly descend and separate from the pummel bub, which is quickly sinking with its iron load underneath. Looking to your left now, in the midst of this chaos, as the ship with the crew members begins to pull away with their oars as quick as they can, and looking up at this giant spectral figure, which is now snapping the boat in half as it's lifted it entirely out of the water. The last thing you see is the mast breaking free along with sailing as it lands on the top of your boat.
Oh.
And she was still on the boat.
He was on there?
Yeah. As everything goes black. And that's what we'll pick up after the intermission.
Oh, gods. Oh, gods.
I'm so glad I drank that elixir.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I'm the
yeah.
only one who's okay right now, y'all.
You awaken. Your ears ring, your joints feel like fire. Your lungs are half drowned, your eyes so heavy with salt and tired and stress that keeping them open feels like an athletic event. You're also pressed into the gap between several large boulders, a cliff behind you at the very edge of the swirling amber sea beyond. This is no beach. This is a natural obelisk, an impossibly steep mountain wall above and below, ending in rough broken rocks leading directly into the current and the depths. You are against the edge of a tall pillar of rock, like a candle whose wick stayed upright, but the wax around it pulled towards the bottom. The waves crashing into the edge just feet below you toss a constant spray of salt and hissing foam into your faces, your clothes, and your shoes. You are alive. You are impossibly uncomfortable, but you are alive.
Oh.
Did I take worse for the wear because my 10-minute potion?
Looking up above you, by best accounts, it's
Seems like no.
maybe best estimate 6 o'clock. You've passed all the way
AM?
PM.
Oh.
You've passed all the way through morning, all the way through afternoon, and now into evening. And all of you, and all of you
Man.
are next to each other. Looking likewise, you can see a small barrel pushed up against the rock, still sealed.
Is our boat anywhere?
There's no sign of boat.
And so we're washed on a shore. We're in a rock.
If you imagine, looking next to you, you're on an island. However, the island has no beach. It's just rocks. And it can't be very big because you can see the curvature of it just from where you are. Looking up, it's very tall, like a cinder, kind of stuck into the middle of the ocean.
Oh.
All in one piece. Oh, here.
This is what it feels like going through withdrawals. It's bad.
Yeah, I suppose.
We see no crew, no captain.
Make a perception check.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll base it on your. You can, if it's really low, by the way, something we do, it rolls back to your passive perception.
Oh, okay.
So unless it's a 1, in which
Yeah,
case
this
it's a
is-
critical fail, it goes to your passive perception.
Okay, my passive is 13.
Yeah, so looking out, there is nothing on the horizon. No shore, no other islands. And when you left the Pummelbub, you were no more than a mile or 2 from shore.
What sort of rocks are we up against? Like, what can I tell from the stones?
Oh, right. Make an investigation check.
Geologist over here.
Yeah, I grew up on a construction site, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Investigation is 18.
Looking at the rocks, it's volcanic.
Okay.
Turning it over in your hands, it appears to be roughly consistent for all the rocks around you. They all look to be the same kind of rock, all volcanic rock. There doesn't appear to be any greenery associated with it. Doesn't appear to be any sedimentary rocks. This is, by all accounts, best estimate, the leftover aftermath of a dormant volcano.
So, I know we're on the Amber Sea.
Correct.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're on the sea. We might be, I don't know, in an island. I know that there's like an elven city around. I don't think that's where we landed though. We're on a volcano right now.
We're on a volcano.
Yeah. Look.
And I crumble some of this in front of everyone.
Look at this.
This is,
Oh, my aching head.
now remind me.
I'm going to go over to the barrel and knock on it.
Oh, Rupert.
Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum.
Knock and be like, Rupert,
Barrel noise.
are you all right?
Yeah, did he make it?
I'm okay.
You hear from inside the barrel.
Oh,
Oh,
Where are we? I'm not coming out.
okay, we're on a volcano.
no, we're not. We're in the middle of the Amber Sea.
The good news is we are not dead.
Yeah.
We're not dead.
I threw up.
What?
What?
Say that again, Rupert.
I threw up.
He threw up.
Oh,
Another thing?
do you want to?
Oh,
you don't want to
another
come out
thing.
and clean out your barrel?
No.
Hey, can you cast that thing you did?
Yeah. I can clean you up. I can clean you up. I can help out. Just gotta open up the barrel.
As you go to open up the barrel, sort of absentmindedly reaching for your staff, it's not there. In fact, as you reach for it, it's a look of consternation on your face. The rest of you look around and realize the only things you have are what you are wearing, meaning your clothing.
No.
No weapons,
I don't have my bag that was a crossbody.
no fathom satchel,
I'm missing everything, huh?
everything.
No.
In fact,
No.
as you begin to quickly rifle through your clothing, you find that losing possessions you were holding possibly makes sense. However, your pockets are open. The ones normally attached to belts, sashes, anything you would normally have is clasped, have all been opened, and they are empty.
Somebody's been
Hecate
through.
immediately, Rupert leaves his mind as he's scrambling, looking around for his sword and his deck.
Oh my god! I immediately reach for my ankle to see if my my copied down leather bound artificer book is, because it was tucked inside my boot.
It's not in there.
What?
Ashvin lets out a
is
guttural, just primal scream.
As it just echoes across the rocks around you.
Yes. And she starts to wade in the water. It's not a shore, right?
It's not a shore. It drops off directly into the ocean.
She jumps in the water.
As you
and
jump
dives in.
you immediately, your feet feel that there's nothing underneath you.
Okay. She dips her head under the water to see if she can see anything.
Looking through just kind of the murky darkness around you, it just leads into nothing.
The spirits, it's everything I had.
They're not gonna be able to find me now. I'm gonna be in big trouble. More trouble than I am now. More trouble.
Somebody took our things. Look at your pockets. They're open.
Yeah, they're open.
This isn't something magical. I think they're on this rock, possibly.
Maybe.
I'm just trying to keep a clear head right now.
Okay.
Let's try to get your things back.
Yeah, let's start
I
walking.
don't have my sword. I don't have my deck. I can't.
You're not just your dick, or you're not just your sword. Come on, Hecate.
Ashvin's still in the water, and she, even though she knows it's hopeless, has tried to dive a little lower.
As you
if she sees
swim
anything.
lower, you find there's quite a few fish. They're clearly illuminated, but there's nothing. To be honest, make a nature check. This is a stretch for you because you're not exactly the most water-bound.
2.
2. It's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she comes back to the rock.
Scrambling back up onto the shore, now completely waterlogged once more.
I'm on probation. This is not a good look, everyone. This is not good.
No.
Maybe they think I die, and then I can stop doing.
I'm just kind of. Is there room to pace?
Not really. There's not much room on
I'm
this rock.
pacing in my mind then.
What do we even...
Everybody, if I could have everybody make just an investigation check, considering you're just kind of standing around this thing.
14.
14?
6.
6? It's going to be a net investigation.
17.
17?
9.
9? Between the two of you kind of clearing the hurdle on this, a few things stand out to you. 1, this is a very small island.
Oh, God.
2, there's nothing on the horizon, which means that you're miles away from anything else. 3, looking down, there's nothing more than possibly a few tiny splinters to indicate any wood from your boat. You can see them, they're at your feet. You were laying on top of a few tiny small pieces of splintering, but nothing else.
So we have no weapons. We have nothing.
Nothing. There's also nothing else around you on this rock. No plant life, nothing. Just rocks.
What do we even do?
Get off this rock.
How? Where do we
Explore
go?
this place.
Can I go around the rock?
It's going to be a bit of a climb to make around it, but
But can I try?
yeah, sure. If
Like
you can
push-
just make an athletics check as you attempt to kind of navigate around it.
4.
4, as you attempt to make your way around, you just boink, dip right
Well,
into
somebody
the
else take a look around the rock then. I clearly can't. Stop panicking and start looking for the things so we can solve this problem.
Ashvin starts to climb up and takes a deep breath, sort of looks up to the sky. It's because it's evening. It's starting to, are we starting to see the stars at all?
Yeah.
The cosmos. She takes a deep breath while looking up and activates her magic awareness to see if she can sense any presence of magic on this tiny rock.
as you find that you begin to reach out around you, kind of smelling on the wind at anything that would come to your senses. Nothing. Okay. Sterile air. However, looking up, you do notice flying overhead appear to be several large birds high up in the sky. So by best accounts, there is something that lives on this rock, but they're about 200 feet up. They look to be quite large from this perspective. But you can see them kind of circling around the top as you can see.
Are my goggles gone? Oh.
You can
Okay,
s-
I'm gonna make a scramble up. I want to get off this rock like stat.
So you're gonna make a scramble up.
I don't know where. I don't know which way I'm going.
I think-
Around.
I think that's what Ashvin's doing too.
Yeah,
this
around.
Is a good
I wanna
point
follow.
to point out to everyone. That was a good time. Take a look at your character sheets.
And cry.
Yeah.
Take a look at your character sheets. Take a look at your abilities. And reach into the pool to see if there is anything that you're able to use here.
My cantrips.
If they don't require a spellcasting focus.
You can see that Hecate is deeply unsettled with having nothing. And he's just kind of a little bit in disbelief. He's probably just sitting in the boat and just kind of.
Well, there's no boat.
There's no boat. Man.
Oh right. Yeah, there's no like little boat.
We
no.
have nothing.
Yeah.
In fact,
Probably
something that comes to mind
That's
is that
interesting.
you're too high to have been washed ashore.
Somebody dropped us here.
we were put here.
How do you know?
Because I was bullied a lot. When I lived in Niles, people would pick me up places and drop me other places, and sometimes I'd end up in far higher places than I was before, and I know that feeling. How'd we get up here? Someone had to bring us right here, ransack our clothes, take
You're right.
my beautiful baby goggles, and leave us here.
You're not the only one that lost something.
They had to be quite strong because look at, and then she points to her 247-pound self.
Yeah, they had to be real strong.
I had so much on me.
What about the big
We don't have
thing in the
gold,
water?
do we, either?
You have nothing.
Nothing.
The big thing in the water.
How close are the birds?
200 feet up. It's a climb.
So I have 2 cantrips, and then I have and then I have the an unarmed strike where I can punch someone. That's what I.
That's good. That's good. To get out on that rock.
I can also imbue. Nope, only if I have alchemist tools I can do that. I can't.
Ashvin is going to climb up as high as they're able to, and once they're up at the top, cast Speak with Animals and try and talk to one of the birds.
So before you get on this journey, this will be something that the group will need to get into together because it's a long way up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have any climbing gear. So it's a long way down.
This was deliberate, which means it's probably not hopeless. Let's make our way up.
Yeah, I think Ashvin's explained that, like, you know, she can talk to the bird, and we'll go have a chat.
All right, I'll try again. I
Let's
only
see
failed
what's
once.
going on here. It's not the first time I've been left with nothing.
We're making a check.
And then one thing that, as a reminder, that you have access to is that knowledge of having traveled.
Yeah, so I can figure out where we are, right?
You can.
How would I use that right now?
So the way this works, to give you an idea. So the way this works, because as a Farron, you're both a Farron who's traveled, but also you have total recall. So the way this works is that you can attempt to remember something about your situation. It doesn't require focus. It's just a thing you can do if you take some time to do it. And as a result of that, you can see if you can remember anything about your current situation that is applicable. And that's the way this will work.
I see.
Normally this, for other players, this would be a history check, things you've read about, things you've learned. For you, it's an experiential thing, so it's almost trigger-based. It's like, you see the color red and suddenly you remember things about the color red.
All right. Then what I want to do then is I want to grab a piece of like one of those, the largest splinter of the boat, and just sit down with it and meditate and try to trigger anything that might experientially like be locked away out of my memory.
So you're sitting on this small stone plinth in the middle of the Amber Sea, holding this small splinter in your hand. You watch as Iwin, as a Farron, focuses on this piece of wood to access that deep reservoir memory they have. And after a few moments of staring at it, and then looking up, and then looking at the island, looking out at the sea, this memory begins to trigger. And with that...
Oh,
we got props!
Props!
Yes!
Oh, let's go!
Wait, what is the writing?
Go.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
What does the front look like?
It's some kind of...
D-H.
Can I open it? Whoa, I can't get it open. I don't want to rip it.
It's your memory.
Is your memory tattered?
Your
I
memory comes in an
love
envelope.
this. Okay. Oops.
Pulls a letter out of his head.
All right, then put this over here.
Oh, that's why we have these, by the way.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
All right, everyone. I have something, a memory.
What do you got?
You know about, I don't know how familiar you are with my race, the Fen. But we have a recall. And I can recall memories of something that maybe I don't remember experiencing, but it happened to us. And this is what I remember. I know who stole our items now. I know who has them.
Who? I want to go find him.
Yeah.
The mottled thieves. Is that how you say that?
Mottled thiefus.
Muddled thieves. It's a midnight blue island bird that preys on the vessels at sea. Nasty. Really aggressively.
Wait, it's
Ashvin,
a
I think you'll like this.
It's a bird?
It's a bird, an island. Bird of prey. And they have feet with dexterous thumbs. That's how they snacked all of our stuff. They steal anything. I love that steal is spelled still wrong.
Your memory,
That's your memory,
Your
not mine.
memory's a little hazy.
Yeah, my memory. Yeah. Oh, you're blaming my memory, you know? Yeah.
You're saying you're the one saying it. I'm not saying anything right now.
And they steal everything, so they make a nest. So right now, I want you all to take a deep breath and know that we can get your stuff back. All of our stuff.
Good.
Because it's a nest. It's being a nest. Ashvin.
Ashvin's already started climbing and is eyeing those birds up ahead.
Find the nest! I just yelled, find the nest, Ashvin!
Does it look like that?
That bird's gonna die.
They're, from your perspective right now, they're very clearly a dark blue.
Those birds?
It's them.
And they're big birds.
And that's a dark blue.
Yeah.
That's
the
them.
model of Thieves. Okay, I'm gonna start following Ashvin.
Guys, you read my memory.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going up too.
All right.
Okay, we gotta find.
Are all
these.
4 of you going up? What are you doing? What are you doing, Iwin? You following as well?
Yeah, I'll follow, but I'm just gonna let you all know I'm taking it easy. I tried to do this just moments ago and it failed.
All right. So as the 4 of you begin making your way up the rock, it's a difficult climb, but between the 4 of you, you're able to manage the first 100 feet or so of stretch. It's, as you're climbing, you do find there are places that appear to be cavities that lead further into the rock. Some of them are more at an angle. Some of them appear to be straight on. They're not very big. Some of them are big enough to almost walk into, even for Ashvin. But they appear to be partly a cave, partly possibly a lava chute or an air shaft that leads further into whatever internal structure there might be for this island. They might suddenly drop into total darkness. It's hard to make out. It's taken you the better part of an hour to safely climb up this cindery cone. And as you've passed these openings, you now find yourself near enough to the top that you realize this island is not that tall. In fact, you're near what you would describe as kind of the apex. And looking up above you, you can see the birds still circling. They don't seem to have noticed you. Possibly they maybe have bad eyesight. Possibly it has something to do with the setting sun being in their eyes. But as you've all been as stealthy as possible, currently the birds have not noticed. You're about 60 feet from them. Clinging to this space, which has wind around you, whipping against these rocks, looking behind, you can see that there is nothing in view. No land, no islands, no other ships. Wherever you are far enough away from the shoreline that it is not in view, which means that in the span of only a few hours, you've traveled likely further than you could travel in a ship in a day.
I want to just look at Hecate and go,
Even when we get our stuff, how are we gonna get out of here?
I don't know, but once I have my things, I'll be a whole lot more confident about what to do next.
Yeah, that's true.
I need everybody to make stealth checks.
I was just gonna say, I have to roll disadvantage. Oh man, I rolled a natty 20. And a 7. 9.
19.
7. I think, yeah, 7.
13.
Well, they rolled a 1 on their perception checks, so so you're fine. But as you're making your way up, you're now within 50 feet of the birds, which are still circling overhead. At this point, realizing they're very big. They are not small. Each of they look like, in reality, now that you're close enough to see them, they appear to be some sort of pelican-like bird, but their wingspans are in the upwards of 10 to 12 feet. They're large. And you can see these large, elongated jowls underneath where they would likely scoop fish. But given the barren nature of this rock, you can understand why they would steal to build their nests. Most strikingly, looking up, Ashvin, you can see, stuck into the nest closest to you, of the 2 nests that are currently visible, of which they're also large, your glaive, the boomerang side stuck out, wedged into a corner of it, making it part of the structure.
She's trying to control herself, but then kind of like threw a side of her mouth to our fair friend here. Do they speak common?
Do they?
As far as you know, they're just birds.
Are these birds? They speak bird. I don't speak common, I'm sorry.
Didn't
just
she
like,
do the animal?
They might be pirates, but they're just
Not
still
yet.
birds of prey.
I'm gonna roll to see if I choose to talk with them first, or if I just make a run for it.
This
for
is
my
you.
glaive. This is me rolling. So on an odd number, I'm gonna run for it. On an even number, I'm going to talk to them.
I love that.
4. So I'm going to talk to them.
Okay.
I cast Speak with Animals.
Is this sort of ruffling your clothes slightly? You find that your acuity with these creatures is now connected. Essentially, the second that it casts, you find that their thoughts aren't so distant from your own, looking up at them.
I want to get to a point where I can... Is there a spot where I can sort of stand and not be hanging off the side of a rock?
Not really.
Not really?
At any
Okay.
given point, you can kind of rest against the edge, but
Okay.
there's no real spot that you feel necessarily like you could have a sit.
Well, I'll get to the most... No, I don't have to sit, but I'll get to the most comfortable spot
Yeah.
to stand as
You're
I
kind of
can.
like you're kind of resting up against it. Your companion's
Yes.
down below you. You're just 6 feet below her. She's currently above you. You're over 100 feet above the rocks below
Oh
right now.
boy. Could Hecate kind of get up a little closer to Ashvin, just kind of being real quiet about it?
I mean, you're only 6 feet from her.
Oh,
but if you want to,
yeah,
yeah,
that'll be fine.
You're all essentially. She's kind of resting against a point, and the three of you are under an overhang, kind of looking up at her.
All right.
Go get him. Go get him. You're gonna do great.
Is there something you want to say?
No, he was.
Okay.
He's close by.
So she's going to... where's the closest bird?
Closest bird is probably 30 feet from you. It's currently sitting in the nest that your glaive is in.
Oh, okay. She's going to yell in not a threatening way, but just in a way to make sure that they can hear her. So this appears to be the lost and found.
You hear this as all the birds begin to call to one another suddenly until one of them in its nest kind of looming over the side. It's ours! So it looks at you, shifting its weight. Ours!
Why is it yours?
Found it! Goes back to its business, kind of preening its feathers.
Ashvin...
It doesn't seem like the smartest bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashvin's holding on to a rock with one side where the shoulder is, and then with the other hand, she points to the glaive and says, "Finders keepers," and starts climbing.
As you do, one of the birds sort of takes flight above you as it's kind of like flapping its wings in your direction. You're feeling this gust blowing on you it's almost like a small maelstrom as this large bird is also clicking its claws in a threatening manner. As it's overhead, blocking out what little is left of the sun. As it just shrieks, "Ah, ours! Ours!" It's just continuing to flap its wings at you. It's now kind of interposed itself between
Yeah.
you and the nest.
This isn't looking good. I can't watch.
What about a trade?
Suddenly the bird kind of rests itself back on the rock. What trade? And you hear trade.
Do you like eggs?
They seem confused for a second.
Ravens.
Our eggs?
No, not yours. Ours.
No.
Why not?
Doesn't respond.
She looks expectantly to her friends to see if there's anything else they can offer.
Oh, offer me. It's like a sacrifice. I look like a delicious, something.
What?
Yeah,
We can't lose.
it's a part of the plan.
All right.
But tie me to a rock so I can't move, but I'll look like I'm...
You want to play a damsel in distress?
Sure, I don't know.
You're sure about this?
No, I'm not sure about this. It's just an idea. Could we offer Rupert up to them, Oh, I take that back now that I said it.
Seems less fair somehow.
Yeah, that's worse. It's a lot worse.
I don't know. I could cast Fireball.
They seemed quite interested in trading. Ask them what they like,
Yeah,
See what
to
they-
promise them we'll get them
Good idea,
something.
good idea.
In Bird, Ashvin says, "What would you like in return?"
They instantly respond, sticks.
What'd they say?
Sticks in common.
They like sticks?
You can make a whole lot of sticks from a barrel.
Yeah.
Rupert's barrel.
Oh.
Oh, no. won't.
He's not gonna like
He's
it.
not gonna
He
like it.
won't.
Well, so there might be still splinters from the boat that were in the water that I used for the memory.
What else do we have?
What kind of sticks?
Big sticks, big sticks, big sticks.
Bettle's not going to make a big stick.
It's not.
It's not.
Ask them where they get their own sticks.
Yeah.
I can go get it.
Where do your sticks come from?
Find.
That's in hell. What do they say?
Did we see any sticks as we were climbing up at all?
The island is barren.
Okay.
Okay.
Promise credit of sticks coming their way once they give us their stuff. I don't think that's gonna work.
Do you take credit?
The word kind of bounces off the bird. You're not quite sure that it landed.
I owe you.
What do you... Here's the noise.
There's no response.
No response still.
They're looking at you, but it seems like the concept is not quite. It's a little bit too far in the future.
Trade now, sticks soon.
Here's
You see the birds looking back and forth to one another, and they seem to be making some kind of body language.
Oh.
It's not quite communication. They're all just kind of checking in with one another. You're not quite sure if they're conversing or if they're just like, "You're still a bird." So, because the whole thing is quite jarring for them.
So agreed? She's trying to persuade them.
Before we get to the response, I just want to give you a chance to say what you're going to say.
I was just going to say, like, why don't we ask where do they gather? Because clearly they're not gathering their sticks off of this rock
They said
island.
they find them.
Right. What if we convince them to fly us to where they gather sticks? We'll be having more hands. Get as many sticks for them, fly us back, take our stuff. Then we get it, and then they can fly us out of here.
It's like those Japanese.
Yeah, they can fly us. They can fly
Let's
us out
work
of
with
here.
them. Work with
Oh,
them.
like the claw game?
Yeah, like the claw game where they
Yes.
go into the bag
Yes.
with the bin of chips and then they like grab as many chips as they can and they has
yeah.
no one seen
I've seen this.
Anyway.
Someone
With the
out
human
there
claw.
has seen
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
I'd normally be up for just slaughtering all of these birds, but I don't want to. I can't.
Okay.
My track record on not in fights is very low, and I don't have anything.
This is a good idea. This is good.
I
So,
wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah.
back in Bird again. So we trade now, and then you take us to best stick spot, and we grab as many as we can carry and bring them back here for you. We can grab more than you can, probably.
The birds begin conversing. You hear the maybe.
Say thousands of sticks. So many.
They're thinking about it. Thousands of sticks.
Maybe.
Many more sticks than you've ever seen.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no! Hey.
So
Let's
many.
do it, Scald. Come on.
Or no, sorry, 14.
14. The largest bird, the one you've been conversing with. Agreed! And it flies up into the air. And as it does, coming near you, it extends one of its taloned hands to you, one of its claws to you. Is that almost, it's kind of hovering near you, battering you with wind. You're not sure if it's trying to shake your hand or trying to immediately pull you off the rock, but it's currently has its hands extended to you.
Trade first, all right?
Agreed! As it currently has its hand extended.
I think it wants that.
Okay, she trusts it.
As it makes connection, you realize its claws are huge. And there's this point where even as big as you are, this sort of slight chill kind of moves down you that possibly avoiding conflict was the best decision. As the bird with its weight is enough to lift you. As you find yourself pulling against the rock as it's just shaking with you. And possibly a motion it's seen from other humanoids it's encountered over the years. Agreed! As it releases you.
Oh.
And then begins to pull your possessions out of the nest and just drop them over the edge. First the glaive, just as you watch it descend below. And next, as they're beginning to pull more and more possessions, would you like to react?
Like into the water?
They're dropping it down towards the rocks below. You can see them kind of clattering against the surface.
Wait. Let us come and take them for you. Let us take the burden of that. That's not right. They're not gonna understand that. Let us come and get them.
First of all, The Burden of Birds
The Burden.
is a great title for this episode.
Oh yeah, burden of birds.
But as you say this, all the birds look at one another. Agreed, and they all begin to make their way out of the nests in order to allow you to clamber up. They're looking at you. You're picking up a strong nervous energy as these massive birds are clung to the rock face. As you begin to pull out things, you find that there's other objects in here that did not come with you. But your objects are packed inside. Where normally you would find moss or softer things, your fathom satchel is crammed into a corner, making a nice kind of resting spot for one of the birds to sit. You find that your weapons are stuck pinioned against the rocks, kind of securing them. And you just find everything that you had was wedged in various places. If I could have everybody make an investigation check.
Oh my god.
12.
19.
14.
13.
13, it's enough. You manage, it takes you a while, and now it's getting to the point where it's dark, but you manage to find all of your possessions.
Oh, thank the spirits.
You also find within the kind of wedged in the nest, and this is where it really comes to your decision, because the birds aren't paying that much attention to what you're taking.
Okay.
You find that there's 2 pairs of rusty but still usable manacles. You also find that there's a strange 10-inch metal rod with a single button on one end. And likewise, you find that there's 2 very tarnished silver jugs with, both of them have the same display. It's a matching set of bears fighting in the middle of a creek, hammered into the side in relief.
I would like to take the rod.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
make a
want-
sleight of hand check.
I want that rod.
Matching set of figures?
They're vases that have bears displayed. They're set in such a way that the bear, if the vases are set next to each other, the bears are facing one another, fighting over a creek that's etched in half relief into both of them.
Shape of bears, not 4 bears.
Yeah.
I'm taking my goggles. I'm taking my thing. Just gonna take this and, oh wait, this is my rod. Gonna take it, rolled an 11.
11?
Gonna take this.
Doesn't seem to notice.
Gonna stick it in the satchel.
Nice.
Because I've seen it before and I know what it is.
As you stick it in your satchel, one of them appears to be eyeing you suddenly.
Hello.
What take?
All my stuff, see? And I hold up the fathom satchel. See, this is my bag. We're gonna get you so many sticks. Sticks.
You're hearing this. You have no idea. Like, you're hearing her talk, and you're hearing the conversation of the bird, but you're
I don't know
realizing
what the bird is saying
there's
at
a
all.
drift happening between the two,
Okay.
where now that it's kind of landed on this
Oh,
word.
yeah,
that just
shoot,
learned
I
from
didn't
you,
know what the bird
sticks. But it was a natural reaction. You look up and the bird's staring at you.
I just taken my bag.
Oh, so it's saying sticks in common.
No, it's saying sticks that
Oh.
you understand
Okay,
because it's
okay.
now learned stick
she
from
is
you.
listening.
But you're hearing the bird and you're hearing this departure in the language between the
Okay.
two. It goes, what take? What take? And it begins to move its beak near you, looking back in the nest.
Sticks for you. We get all the sticks. Speaking of, let's go get the sticks.
She's saying she's so excited to get these sticks for you.
Make a persuasion check.
Hecate just grabbing his stuff and just putting it away. Just not screw
We
this
want
up.
this rod. If it does what I
17.
think it does.
17.
What do you think it does?
Bird seems convinced.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Sticks.
What do we do about Rupert?
We go get the sticks. We come back. She's probably just in his barrel, hanging out.
Are we sure we're coming
I mean, we
back?
still they dropped a couple of your things down there. Why
We gotta go.
Your glaives at the bottom.
Didn't get them.
So let's have them, carry us down, pick up the rest of your glaives, check in with Rupert, and then go to the place to get them sticks. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we tell him?
And we'll leave Rupert here.
Well, we gotta talk to him at least to tell him where he's going.
Okay. We're ready to go. You,
With that, it launches into the air and proceeds to grab, like several of the birds proceed to grab you and lift you off the rocks. Sticks now! Sticks! And they begin to fly out from the island
Fast!
over water.
But we're in there.
fast! My item! Below!
Sticks! As it begins to keep flying, as it's just flying ahead now over the water.
Did it just grab Ashvin or all of us?
All of you.
We'll get it later.
And as you're now
I have
being
to bring those back, Ashvin.
held aloft by these large birds, you watch as it's still light enough to be able to see the water down below. And from it, you can see schools of fish. You see what looks to be possibly a pod of dolphins. It's hard to make out, but you can see some shapes moving in the water down below you. As you're about 150 feet over the surface, as these massive blue birds are carrying over the water. And suddenly you find that you're passing over what appears to be the shadowy hulks of two wrecked vessels. They're very large. Whatever they were far larger than the Pummelbub. And looking at them, by best concern, you'd consider them to be almost like galleons, especially this far out to sea. It's not the sort of thing you'd see a smaller ship at, especially a flat bottom boat like the Pummelbub. But as you're flying over, one of the birds looking down goes, "Sticks, sticks, sticks," as it begins to motion with its beak. "Grab sticks!" Looking, the boat's 20 feet underwater, maybe more.
It's all the way in the water. We can't get under there.
Is there, wait, can I still communicate with
Oh, yeah.
them? It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're coming right up on the edge of it.
Okay. Is there a place on land?
It looks at you, "Sticks!" and releases. And
And
as the four of you begin to fall
Nothing
Free
ventured,
fall.
nothing gained.
into the water, just submerging,
could have killed them.
and begin to find yourselves now facing two large wrecks that have collided in a final embrace, possibly held aloft on some cliff edge on some small shoal underwater. That's where we'll pick up on the next episode.
Oh,
Wow.
oh man.
That's crazy. Fun communication with those birds.
I love it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching, and a huge, huge thank you to all of our patrons who have helped support this channel. If you're interested in helping us out, you can find us at patreon.com/BrooklynQuarter, and we would love for you to subscribe, join our Discord. All the links are down below, and hope to see you on the next episode of Novel Chronicles.